Robberies are always planned, but not all robberies go according to plan. In fact, many of them end up going horribly wrong, and lucky for us, some of them get caught on camera as well. Get ready to witness the chaos take place in this video as we show you 30 robberies caught on camera gone wrong. Karate masters. These carjackers thought they could just steal a car in the broad daylight. However, they forget that sometimes people around them can also come to the rescue. Something similar happened in this incident. So, as you can see that these carjackers were trying to steal the car, but two kind-hearted individuals stopped the attempt by intervening. The incident happened in Oakland on Piedmont Avenue. You can see a man getting back to his car when someone tries to snatch his keys. But watch what happens next. Two people step in and stop the carjackers. These good Samaritans reportedly work at a karate school nearby and are city workers from San Francisco. It's amazing how their actions made a big difference in a scary situation. It's all about how fast you act. Dragging. This video will send shivers down your spine and will make you think a few times before you head out of the house. You can see in the video that a woman was dragged down the street. The whole incident was caught on surveillance video. If you look closely at the footage, you can see the woman desperately trying to hold onto her purse as the car keeps moving. She definitely had something really important in that purse for her to be that desperate. Later reports stated that she had just come out of Oakland Beauty Supply when a car pulled up behind her and a thief grabbed her purse. She was dragged for about 100 feet. Although she was bruised and shaken, the woman did not sustain any serious injuries. Karma. Here's another carjacking attempt that went wrong. This video is the perfect example of karma. The driver was being followed by two cars, and it looks like they already knew what these chasing cars wanted to do. In the video, you can see one of the cars stopping ahead, and a person getting out from the other car, possibly with intentions to rob the vehicle. However, the driver didn't hesitate and took quick action against it. They swiftly maneuver their vehicle and smash into the robber's car, stopping the attempted crime. I mean, kudos to the driver. Sword fight. As you can see in the video, there's this big car that is trying to repeatedly crash into the shop. The customers and the shop owner are trying to decipher what's really going on. As soon as the shop owner notices that these are robbers, he swings into the other room and comes out with a sword to ward off the robbers. And to everyone's surprise, man was able to ward off fully armed robbers with a conventional weapon like a sword. It takes guts to do that. Very few people would be willing to put their life in danger to do something like this. It's incredible to see. Trapped in. After trying to rob a cell phone store, a robber ended up locked inside by smart employees. The staff not only took the customers out, but also got out of the store and locked it from the outside to keep the robber trapped until the police arrived. Stuck with nowhere to go, he knelt on the glass door, begged to be let out, and started to pray. Quite the irony, right? The employee ensured the safety of everyone and left the robber with no choice but to wait for the authorities. Texas. A Texas man found himself in a tense situation when two suspects attempted to break into his home over the weekend, as captured by doorbell footage. The scene began when Aaron Contreras knocked on Ethan Rodriguez's apartment door, claiming to be a maintenance worker there to check air conditioner filters. Minutes later, Contreras returned with a handgun, trying to forcefully enter by kicking the door. Concurrently, another masked individual joined the attempt, aiming to breach the door from the stairs. Reacting swiftly, Rodriguez retrieved his own firearm and fired shots through the front door, prompting the suspects to flee. Rodriguez's quick response stopped the break-in attempt. gas station. This group of cousins was out as they joined each other for the summer break, but while having a good time together, they didn't realize that a robber was lurking around. In the footage, you can see the guy approach the boys and try to rob them, but he had no idea that these were actually the wrong people to mess with. Two of the cousins acted fast and barged in to fight back. The robber had to flee the scene because, boy, those kids were there to beat him up. Although no one was harmed seriously, it could have been way worse if anyone had gotten shot. Rammed. The video shows quite a filmy scene. The surveillance footage shows robbers running away with bags of cash that they had robbed from the cash-in-transit vehicle. However, as soon as they think they're out of danger, cash equals sign in transit vehicle rammed them from the back. It looks like one of those movie scenes where the protagonist is saving the day. But this is real life. Even after they ran away once, they came back for the bag, and once again, the van rammed them. Even though they took the bag, I don't think it was worth all those injuries. Father of the Year. This one is one of those videos that will make you feel good. Two teenagers who tried to rob a car with infants in were shot by the father of these babies. Kudos to the father for thinking swiftly and taking action right away. We can only imagine what would have happened to the babies if the father didn't take action on time. Buddy. On Sunday, February 5th, 2023, Aurora police officers were called to a home on Colorado Avenue after receiving reports of a 21-year-old man identified as Christopher Run Cross. He was armed with multiple knives and making threats. Upon arrival, officers found Cross still armed with knives. Despite attempts to calm the situation, Cross charged at one of the officers while still holding the knives. In response to the immediate danger, the officer took a shot that hit Cross. Officers provided first aid until Aurora Fire Department medics arrived and transported Cross to Amita Health Mercy Hospital in critical condition. Reports from Cross's relatives indicated that he sustained injuries to his chest, leg, stomach, and eye, requiring surgery. Thankfully, he survived. Let me eat. In a video from a restaurant in Houston, Texas, a crazy thing happened. An armed robber demanded money from everyone there. But as the robber passed by, a customer with a gun intervened, and the robber was fatally shot. Afterward, the customer quickly left in a pickup truck before the police showed up. Later, the customer's lawyer contacted the district attorney's office, saying that their client wanted to share what had happened. But I mean, the guy was brave to do this. Centurion Mall. Police were actively searching for two suspects following a cash-in-transit heist at a Gauteng mall on a Thursday morning. The robbery took place outside Centurion Mall, where 4 suspects were involved in the crime. But as you can see in the video, a shootout erupted between the assailants and security guards, resulting in one suspect being injured and another fatally shot. The authorities are continuing their efforts to apprehend the remaining suspects involved in the incident. Pawn shop. 2 thieves got more than they bargained for when they tried to rob a pawn shop where the owner, Jimmy Groover, and an employee were present. Groover took decisive action, firing at the armed robbers and killing one of them. The other thief fled the scene. Thankfully, neither Groover nor his employees were harmed during the incident. But we have to say, the man is brave. Trap. This video shows a man who took a crazy approach to dealing with repeated break-ins in his truck in the CBD. That was coming from the frustration of enduring 6 break-ins in the past 2 months and 8 since January. Security footage from outside his apartment building captured the latest incident: a person smashing Bat's truck window and attempting to enter. However, the situation changed when a flashbang rigged on a tripwire detonated inside the truck, startling the would-be thief and sending them fleeing. That describes the device as a non-lethal deterrent designed to emit a loud bang without causing serious harm. Karachi. A video from the streets of Karachi shows a group of men relaxing when two robbers on a bike arrive to rob them. At first, the robbers successfully took the belongings from the men, but what comes next is straight up satisfying. After some time, one of the men intervenes by shooting the burglar, saving himself and his friends from harm. That looks like a scene from a movie footage. Motion sensors saved the day. Well, this is why you should invest in cameras and motion sensors. A Phoenix homeowner's crazy encounter with these home intruders was caught on camera. In this video, the surveillance footage released by the Phoenix Police Department shows 4 men attempting to kick in the front door, only to face gunfire from the homeowner. In a later investigation, it was revealed that the homeowner knew about the robbers, as the motion sensors and surveillance camera had already given him an idea of what was happening, which allowed them to arm themselves moments before the break-in. The suspects quickly fled the scene in a grey car before police arrived. Flippers are off. In a scary situation, a man approached 2 others with a gun, trying to rob them. But one of the victims knew what to do and fired about 10 shots to scare off the guy with the gun and protect everyone. Messed with the wrong guy. In this video, captured on a dashcam, a man in South Africa shows quick thinking as he punches the robber, prompting the robber to flee for his life. You can see he is minding his own business as the robber approaches him. But my God, that punch was insane. Fight back. In the video, you can see a robber attempting to steal from a man on a bike. Suddenly, something startles the robber, causing him to retreat hastily. The guy fought back as much as he could and made the robber run. Eventually, the robber flees the scene, leaving the man unharmed. Yet still, the would-be victim went after him. Paintball guns. These guys were trying to steal the car's catalytic converter, but guess the car owner watched what they were doing. As they were scrambling under the car, paintball guns were being loaded. The family, armed with their paintball guns, wasted no time in chasing after them. The robbers definitely got scared because the way they ran away was funny. Imagine being such a scaredy cat and still trying to steal. Targeted. In this footage, you can see 4 male suspects targeting victims in a driveway, possibly following them from OR Tambo Johannesburg International Airport in South Africa. You can see them go through the car and take away belongings as if it's something normal for them. Not only that, but another one of their fellows arrives with a car which they load with all the stolen stuff. There's suspicion that the suspects used the driveway intercom to possibly alert a domestic worker at the beginning and end of the robbery, making it seem like she was also involved. Daytime robbery. In this incident captured on video, 2 men are seen exiting their car and confronting another individual during daylight hours. It's believed that the victim, sensing some danger and fearing a robbery, took decisive action by taking out a firearm and firing at the suspects in self-defense. And well, it definitely worked. When you're in these kinds of situations, you're playing with life and death with a margin of a few seconds. So thinking ahead and being calm is the only way to go. Chase. This video shows the moment when firearms officers in Birmingham chased down a teenager who had a gun on him. Nike Thomas was pursued through Burlington Arcade and New Street Station on a Saturday afternoon, dropping his loaded gun before being held. A woman had reported an incident involving the boy to the police, after which the police arrived at the scene and took hold of Thomas. Kudos to her for being proactive. Reports suggest that the boy was fighting with another man over a bag. Later, he pulled out the gun on, and the other man had to run away after this. When the police arrived, Thomas tried to flee, but the police eventually caught him, ultimately ending the pursuit outside New Street Station. From his gun, 5 live rounds in the magazine were discovered, showing that he wouldn't have hesitated in using all of them. Not only that, police also found drugs and burner phones in his possession, which meant that he was involved in drug dealing as well. After getting caught during investigation, he continued to give false statements and refused to answer the questions. But at some point, everything against him was proved. He was subsequently sentenced to 5.5 years in prison at Birmingham Crown Court on September 13th for possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence and possession of cannabis with intent to supply. 1 down. In this video, you'll witness a tense moment as a group barges into a store, likely with ill intentions to rob the store. Now, in most situations, the shop owners take a step back. But this shop owner didn't hesitate at all, as if he had been waiting for this moment all his life. He responded quickly, firing at the intruders to defend himself and his property. The situation escalated as one of the intruders was shot and lost his life right there. The shop owner, though, deserves an award. No mercy. In the video, a store owner is going about her business when she notices someone at the door. And as you do, she allows him entry without giving it a second thought. The situation turns dangerous when he suddenly reveals a gun from his pocket. The girl is literally shaken by what is happening. He demands that the girl let his accomplice enter the store, leaving her with little choice but to comply. Just when things seem dire, the store owner's dad bursts in, armed and ready to protect his daughter and their business. And let me just say, he's like a real-life superhero. In a swift and decisive move, he fires multiple shots at the intruders, aiming to neutralize the threat and safeguard their safety. Shootout. In the video, you can witness a robbery taking place with police officers stationed nearby. As the robber exits the scene, the police waste no time in springing into action. The footage captures the tense moment when the robber steps out, and immediately the police respond with swift and decisive measures, swiftly taking him and putting an end to the crime. These situations are usually very intense and require swift and calm action. A lot can go wrong if you panic and let your guard down. Attack. The videos show footage from April 13, 2024, when Clark County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a carjacking report in Hazel Dell. The victim described 2 suspects, a man and a woman, who stole his van, with the man reportedly armed. The suspects fled the scene in the stolen van, as you can see in the video. Shortly after, deputies were called to a suspicious incident near Goodwill in Salmon Creek. Witnesses described a similar scenario involving a male and a female duo attempting a carjacking. The identified suspect is 41-year-old Benjamin Woods from Prineville, Orr. Deputies found the stolen van behind the American Legion and spotted Woods entering the building. When approached, Woods came out from the men's room with a handgun aimed at the officers. Deputies fired shots, and Woods was fatally wounded. Self-defense. Now, in this video, we see 2 ladies approaching the stairs, followed by 2 others who turn out to be the perpetrators. The first 2 women are the intended victims. Now we also get to see a second angle where the defender fires some shots while she's turning around. According to the reports and other news bulletins, the police later caught one of the perpetrators, thankfully with no injuries to the victims or the suspects. The suspect was armed and became aware that she was facing multiple charges. Swift action. In the surveillance video, you can see a tense moment as a victim confronts his attackers during an attempted robbery. The incident took place just before 2 p.m. in the 4200 block of East Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia's Wissinoming section. The footage shows the victim's courageous response as he refuses to be a passive target. Instead, he fights back against the assailants, showing great bravery in the face of danger. Things get even more intense as one of the attackers gets shot, which adds a real surprise to what's happening. This whole intense situation shows how things can change in a flash, and it reminds us how crucial it is to be ready to protect ourselves when things get dangerous. And this was all for today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more thrilling content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue bringing you the best content possible. Stay tuned for the next video, and until then, stay safe and take care.